forewarned weather with Ashlee Baracy.
Well, good Tuesday morning, folks. As you are getting ready to step outside, I don't want the warmer weather to fool you this morning because we're starting off very mild and dry. Bigger changes as we go throughout each hour today. So you want to make sure that you grab the umbrella before you head out, as scattered rain chances will be building in by late morning through midday. And then we have a much cooler air mass building in. So we're kind of plateauing right now where we're at temperature wise through the morning. And then we start to fall in the afternoon in the wake of a cold front. Beyond today, we're entering a very seasonal stretch. So sunshine and 60s ahead throughout the rest of the work week. So those are your three takeaways. Rain chances are scattered really throughout the next several hours, even into, I would say, mid-afternoon before we start to see them tapering off. And so here's that cold front as it right now is pushing into our western suburbs. And so behind that, up into the Thumb, off towards Saginaw Valley, into the Grand Rapids area, that's where we do have some more widespread rain that is built in, and it's riding along that front. So it will eventually work its way here across southeastern Michigan. But behind that rain, which will be more inconvenient than anything today, we have a much cooler air mass, and you distinctly see it here with our color contours. So we're starting a degree shy of 70 in Detroit right now, and folks in Minneapolis, Sioux Falls, Duluth in the 40s. In fact, Marquette at 39. Come tomorrow morning, we will have widespread 40s that we're waking up to. So we call that a little bit of weather whiplash over the next 24 hours, as it's going to be noticeably colder in the next 24 hours. And you can see that distinction in Green Bay and Marquette because they are about a day ahead of us with this weather. So high temperature forecast, we will stay in the 60s over the next several days. Bit more seasonal, but Thursday's our coolest day of the week, and that even dips us below our average high, which would be mid-60s. Bus stop forecast for today: hanging tight in the upper 60s through the lunch hour before we start to fall. So drop off this afternoon, which is typically warmer than pickup, will actually be a little cooler for today. And you want to make sure the kids have an umbrella in case they have that walk home from the bus stop or just walking home from school. So clouds and radar forecast, that cold front sweeps through. Watch how the rain then becomes a little more widespread across our area. I would say after about 10:30, 11 o'clock, that will be mainly out of the area by about 3:30, but you still could have a little remnant moisture that builds in, bringing a couple isolated showers into even the dinner hours. So that's why I can't rule out an isolated shower to over at Comerica Park. Have the poncho just in case, but really I think we have a better chance of just dealing with overcast skies. So temperatures will be sliding throughout the game. Tomorrow's game, drier, but on the cooler side, sunshine. And we will have upper 60s for the Spartan game on Saturday and low 70s to start early next week. If it was a 1 o'clock game, I'd be much more concerned than this 4 o'clock game. You're still not out of the woods, but it's not going to be the heaviest part of the rain, that's for sure. So I'm trying to look at the glass half full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As we should.
That's right.
And it's not like a heavy down, awful pour, because, you know, there's that tailgating and the block party happening ahead of time.
It could be a little heavy shower that rolls through that.
All right.
So you want to make sure you're prepared.
Okay.
But otherwise, I mean, we want to make sure that the game itself is going to, I mean, at least you don't want the weather to play a role in it. So scattered rain chances throughout the day. You want to have that umbrella in hand just in case. And then by the time we get in the afternoon, we're going to feel cooler. So if you're getting ready to head out the door right now, grab the jacket. You might step outside and think, what are you talking about, Ashlee? Well, this afternoon, those temperatures are falling. And so you'll know what I'm talking about, you know, 10 hours from now. Seasonal. So we do enter a more seasonal stretch. Fall finally making its arrival. Fashionably late. We'll be in the 60s and we get some sunshine by the middle of the week. So rain chances you see stay pretty scattered through about 5 o'clock. And then once we get to 6, 7, they do certainly wane. And I'll show you the illustration of that in a moment. But for today, I'm still going to hold on to those rain chances well into the afternoon, but it's hit or miss at that point. Through the lunch hour, a bit more widespread and heavy. And once we get to mid-afternoon, it'll become more spotty. Upper 60s, right around 70, the high today that we're just plateaued at right now. And then the cooler air mass builds in behind it as you see that cold front right now stretching from about Ann Arbor to Mount Clemens. So it's behind the front, the more widespread rain. And you get a couple pockets that are heavier at times. This isn't a widespread heavy rain event. It's steady, but you could have a few of those isolated pockets that bring you a heavy downpour. And so the cooler air is noticeable when we put the color contours on here. 30-degree difference from Detroit to Marquette. And a lot of 40s in the upper Midwest. And that's what we'll be waking up to come tomorrow morning. So for folks in Green Bay, Minneapolis, they're about a day ahead of us with this temperature shift. So this is what you can expect here in southeastern Michigan by about this time tomorrow. So that was about a 15-degree swing downward within 24 hours to our west. We'll see probably more of a 20-degree swing downward, given that we're trending almost 10 degrees warmer this morning than where we were yesterday. So your high temperature forecast, 60s over the next 4 days. But those 60s even include below average 60s through midweek. I mean, 61 for the high come Thursday. We've gotten kind of used to those 80s. So it's going to take some time to just get used to this, but this is where we should be in October. So by the lunch hour, when we were talking about tailgating, this is why I can't rule out a heavy pocket or two, because you see them isolated through here, but widespread rain through the lunch hour. By the time we get to 3, most of that's off to the east, but there will be a few little remnant showers that develop through the dinner hour that pose that isolated risk into the later part of the afternoon and early evening. Otherwise, we're peeling back those clouds through the overnight, and that will tee us up for sunshine come tomorrow. So ALDS game 3 today, 4:08. Have the poncho kind of folded up in your back pocket just in case, but it's not a guarantee that we'll see the rain crossing the area. If we do, it shouldn't be enough to really delay the game. It's a 3:08 first pitch tomorrow at the Copa, and I think that we'll be absolutely dry, sunshine, just cooler. We'll be right around 60 at first pitch and then 50s by game's end. Hour by hour, day by day look at our future radar. We get that rain out of here by tomorrow, and watch what happens. Another dry stretch of weather. Best chance for rain after today, a week from today, Tuesday of next week. And so as far as a football forecast on Saturday, Michigan State will be home. It's a noon kickoff over at Spartan Stadium against UCLA, and you can plan for low 60s, mostly sunny skies at kickoff, and then upper 60s by game's end. So beautiful fall day over in East Lansing. We'll be on either side of 70 through the weekend with sunshine, holding on to low 70s by Monday of next week.
As they're like younger and then they mature more, and they have like those teenage girls that just love them, and eventually their lyrics start to mature.
It reminds me of Janet Jackson, early 90s.
And Beyonce.
And Beyonce too,
Right?
yes.
Yeah. There's always a shift at some point.
I don't know if it seemed like
There was a Britney Spears shift
Naughty
too.
Girl,
There
I think
was
was
a
the song
Britney
with
Spears shift too, yeah.
Oh yeah, all of them.
They grow up.
There's always that album where you go,
Right, yeah, that is just like, this got mature quick.
yeah.
And then
But
parents
she's like 36, right?
Yeah, I mean, she's a grown woman.
She is.
But when you
She's
see
still-
all of her fans, and they do vary in
Right,
age, but
right.
a lot of teen girls just love her. So,
Well, maybe she's trying to change that image, Maybe.
well, she's got to, keep up.
That's right.
You can't be like 40s doing like songs for teens.
That's right.
Sure would.
Knew it was coming.
Oh.
Knew it was coming.
So we're gonna go now, okay, everyone?
Have a great Tuesday.
Before
Before Jason gets us all.
Yeah, absolutely.